Hello and welcome to another episode of Absolute Worldie. I am Andy Haynes and I am joined by my kind of consummate co-host. We haven't made this thing official yet, but Juan and Rudy Aguilar, Hermanos FC. That's my daughter. You can hear in the background, who I'm neglecting for content's sake. And also, special guest today, our rotating but small pool of comedians that understand football, what some Americans would call soccer and others would call gay. But
Guilty.
Lee Hudson is here, joining us all the way from, I think the London suburb of Guildford, I believe.
No,
Am I right?
I'm in Hampshire.
Hampshire. Sorry about that. Apologize. Not the New Hampshire, the old one. And you can see his painful allegiance behind him on the wall to Southampton Football Club. We'll get to that later. Lee, how is it going in the UK right now? Have you been busy hanging up flags on light poles?
No, I've been taking the typical comedian stance of just writing bits about it rather than doing anything about it.
Of course. Well, that's kind of what all of us are doing. There's not a lot you can do in a fascist state other than write jokes about it. And I mean, I guess some people you can get pepper sprayed at a nice facility, but you guys don't even have ice facilities yet. You will.
Yeah, it's the key word there.
It's coming. Anywhere that is nice to be will pretty soon have ice facilities. They're going to have ice facilities at Disney World pretty soon. Watch out, you guys. You're in Florida. Could be dangerous.
I mean, I think even just walking around the street now is a dangerous thing. We don't got to get to Disney, I think, before we get
the other day
come after us.
I saw them arrest a white lady, and I was like, okay,
God.
All right, now we're in trouble.
Was she white or was she Cuban though?
No. She was in Chicago. She was Chicago white.
Shocking.
She was macaroni. She was macaroni and cheese white.
Damn.
Yeah,
Man.
I do want to, because the Hermanos don't know Lee, I do want to preface a little bit. Lee he's a very accomplished comedian, hilarious young man, but also has a strong soccer background. He's got his badges for coaching is that through UEFA?
Yeah.
He's got his UEFA badges, and he also has spent time coaching at such fine institutions at Bristol City. Did I also remember Portsmouth?
Portsmouth, unfortunately. Brighton, Southampton, a few places.
Wow. So we're actually going to have a good actual conversation.
Lee knows what he's talking about. Lee actually kind of held my hand through the fake job I had at Crawley Town FC, where I was the media personality / community outreach / in-house comedian. I don't really know.
It was a wild time.
Anyways, Lee, so how is the UK right now? I mean, you are toiling in the championship.
Oh yeah,
Southampton. You're having to go to such fine places as Cardiff, and I don't actually.
Cardiff went down. They're in League One now.
Charlton,
yeah, they just come up to the Championship.
Swansea.
I bought my Swansea there. I'm going to see Southampton versus Swansea after the international break on the 18th of October, and I just bought a ticket today for Blackburn away, so I'm getting all the glamour of the Championship.
Has Snoop been making appearances at the Swansea Stadium?
I don't think he has, no.
Because I heard he tried to start a beef with the Wrexham guys.
He's part
Snoop
of their he's part of the investment group at Swansea, which also includes Luka Modric as well. He's bought in there as well. So they've got like all these sort of investors, but I don't think any of them have ever been to Swansea.
Do EFL rules prohibit you from playing for a team that you're an owner of?
Good question. I have absolutely no idea.
That'd be kind of fun to see Luka just spend his last year of football playing at Swansea. I don't think he could do much. I think it's a little too physical of a league. Who is leading the charge in the Championship at the moment?
Middlesbrough top at the moment, I believe. Who else is there? Let me
Middlesbrough.
Other phone.
Is Middlesbrough? No, it's Birmingham City that has the interesting ownership group.
Yeah, they got Tom Brady and
but
yeah, it's a horrible league. Like, it's so tough. Coventry are flying high right now as well. They're scoring like 3 or 4 goals every week with Frank Lampard as manager.
Okay. Yeah,
that's where Haji rates there.
Yeah. He's scoring like almost every week at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Wrexham? How's Wrexham faring?
Okay, they're not so great. We beat them on the opening day of the season, and I think they're like lower mid-table. I'm just going to get the table up. Look.
Yeah, there's not going to be from what I can understand, there's not going to be a three-peat promotion for Wrexham this year.
No, I can't see that happening.
I think they're staying in the Championship. Which is something I think very interesting for I think a lot of people don't understand, especially you guys because you support the MLS. That was a dig.
Excuse you.
When we were at Crawley, me and Lee were working at Crawley, there was kind of this idea that if you just threw money at a team, they could get promoted. And it was just like, okay, run these data sets, find these free agents, kind of moneyball the whole situation, and then also bring in kind of like glamour signings, although they never got a glamour signing other than they got the sidemen to play in their FA Cup match. But it was all a failure, and it was like amazing to see because they put way more money than anybody else did. I think besides maybe, I'm flaking on the name of this team really quick. It's not Walsall. Swindon Town, I think, was the only team that spent more money than them. And Crawley almost got relegated to the National League after spending all of that money. And I think that's the thing that people don't understand a lot about. Like the championship is like, I think a lot of Americans, because I think if any team has the attention of Americans in the championship, it's probably Wrexham, just because of how Americans Ted Lasso their way into fandom. But it just, you can't just spend money and get, unless you have, but there's spending caps. So it's not like they could just sign like Ronaldo, Benzema, and whatever to get to that level.
Didn't come up.
I'll have to send you back the iPad that I stole from the Wagner United ownership group to use this. We were talking about the Championship League. You said that Wrexham's 18 out of 24. I mean, that's enough about that. Who are you rooting for this season because you are not in it in the Premier League? What is your Premier League?
Thanks for reminding me that my team is not good enough to be part of it. I would say probably this season Arsenal. Just because
smart guy.
I don't want to see Liverpool win it again, and I don't want to see City win it again, and
you want to feel you want to feel joy and hope and all of those things. Not
Yuckers.
A super I don't know, momentous weekend. Kind of some low scoring, pretty cut and dry games. Saw that Tottenham beat Leeds
At home.
Duh.
At home.
What?
It's not at home. It's not an easy game to win at their house.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're just back in the Premier League. They have all that momentum. You guys
You sound
have never gone down to the championship.
you sound passive aggressive.
I'm not. No, I'm trying to support you guys. I'm trying to be nice. How was the game? How did you guys feel about it?
It was Leeds looks a lot better than what you'd think they would be playing at. Just being promoted. They look strong. They were connecting. They made it a game that Tottenham, like regardless of like where they're at the table, had to like fight for that win. It wasn't like a given thing, and so it made it interesting. It made it stressful to watch. But they pulled.
Yeah,
it
I was
out,
listening to a little bit of the Guardian podcast, which I know is good content when you cite other content in your content. But they were saying that it was like a real kind of like trial by fire for Thomas Frank, because they had kind of figured out a system that was like pretty challenging to his system, and so he had to adjust. And it sounds like he's really an excellent coach for you guys.
No, like I mean, I think that like any coach in any league, I think that your biggest the biggest thing that you can that can help you win games is being versatile and being able to adjust on the fly or at halftime, whatever. You have to be able to like really be able to be flexible, and Ange like just was not doing that, and everybody was just like grabbing the ticket and like knew exactly what they need to do like against his kind of team. So no surprise that he's struggling at Forest now. He's probably going to get sacked by I don't know, before the year ends for sure. And
I mean, their own fans are saying sacked in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Ange, because he had such. I mean, it's such a. Lee, do you have any insight on this? Like, these guys are both diehard Tottenham fans, but do you have any insight from your kind of football experience why you sack a coach that just won the Europa League and didn't finish awfully in the table?
They did finish off. They finished like 17th.
We were 17th. We were right before relegation.
Yeah, for Tottenham, that's like that's pretty bad. They were sort of, and also that was with a league where the three promoted teams which included Southampton, were just so bad. Like, this year's promoted teams are all so much better. So in a season where the promoted teams were stronger, Spurs could have been in some real trouble. But luckily for them, like, we were bad, Leicester were bad, Ipswich were bad, just bad.
I also want to say that for Ange, last year, losing 11 players, and no one wants to give him that credit, is a big deal. Arsenal lost Saka, and you guys are like imploding. That I need to spend 90 million in January.
We have six injuries, okay?
Okay.
Be a little bit more honest when you insult my family, okay?
Declan Rice has hemorrhoids, and now you guys need to go spend on
Our talisman is gone. Odegaard's out till the next year, okay?
But you know what? Mikel Arteta is hiring 15 fighter pilots to come and motivate your team. Because
Good.
that's what you need to do.
Good. I'm sorry that Xavi didn't work out as well as Eze. I'm sorry for you guys about that, okay?
Go learn some more magic, you fuckers.
Otherwise, in the league, I mean, nothing too surprising. I felt like Sunderland started strong. They lost to Manchester, getting Amarin maybe 2 more weeks of play. And then I think the biggest story this weekend is honestly, I mean, besides Jack Grealish kind of having his white girl summer, is Liverpool losing 3 times. What's going on there?
I mean, it's interesting. Like they spent what, £450 million in the summer to disjoint the whole team. Which, I mean, there were players in that team that they needed sort of positions freshening up. But I mean, it's just not worked. I mean, it could work out for them still. But right now, they look like a team that's got new players who don't quite fit together. Right? It's weird. Like they needed to buy a new centre back and they thought they got Gay and they didn't, and now it's showing because like Konate looks like his head's already in Real Madrid. Van Dijk's twerking in front of shots. So
Yeah.
something's just not right there. Like Wirtz is doing some nice stuff, but with no output. Like he's making some his technical ability is quite clear, but he's not contributing. And Salah's just gone. Salah's gone cold as well.
Salah needs to go.
Isak Isak isn't doing, like, the whole team is just not performing at the level that's expected.
I'm not worried about them.
I know, that's the thing.
Like, isn't that the crazy part is that, like, I'm not worried that next month they'll probably all connect and they'll be like pissed off. They'll piss off everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
I do think though that the one thing that a lot of people have forgotten is that Diogo Jota died 2 months ago, and he was like a pivotal part of that locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If one of you guys died, I probably wouldn't be as good at hosting this podcast for the next couple of weeks, you know? And so
That's well, I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah, I think that it tends to be the case every time that anyone does any kind of sports analysis that the sky's falling because the game was lost to a team that is deemed inferior, and not forgetting that this is like one of the tougher leagues in the world, and like it's bound to happen.
the toughest.
Yeah,
I think we can just say it's the toughest.
It's the toughest, yeah.
The toughest. Yeah, I'm not shocked that they lost, especially how they've been playing, but I am not concerned about what they're going to look like by season's end. At all. Arne Slot came in there and it was just like nothing, like I've never seen a transition that smooth ever. That's crazy.
Yeah, they'll still finish top 3 this season.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Do you think the other spot goes to City? Are they kind of in the shape that they were at? I feel like Pep's out of it mentally.
No, I feel like top 3 will be, in no particular order, will be Arsenal, City, Liverpool. Like, I don't know what order it will be in, but I think that will be the top 3. And then it's people fighting for the places around it, whether that's Chelsea, whether that's Spurs, whether that's Newcastle.
I got Chelsea going up there.
I could see them getting it. They've spent the most money, which is normally a good indicator of where you end up in most cases. But some of their players have taken a while though. They're big money players. Like Caicedo took a little while to actually start producing. Even Enzo as well. Like these guys both cost like 100 million each or whatever, and they took a little while to actually start performing at Premier League level. So I think that's another reason why the Liverpool fans need to be patient with some of those players, because they'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Caicedo really took 2 seasons to get comfortable at Chelsea, because he was the man at Brighton. And then I didn't really hear about him for at least a season. So I think we've talked enough about the EPL, and I don't want to just do sports analysis that other people who are more qualified to do it do. one big news piece this week, Rudy, I'll kind of let you take it away, which is World Cup ticket prices have dropped. Woo, woo, woo. That was my bad,
Dropped?
what do you call it, air horn. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about dropped. I mean, we're talking about I think what's happening is the resale is what's probably going to kill.
Oh, I meant dropped like an album dropping. That's what I was saying.
Oh, well, yes, the tickets
They've
did
appeared.
drop. They dropped on everyone's head because they're extremely expensive. And I did a video today about the comparison between the Qatar World Cup and this World Cup, and the prices couldn't be more like lopsided. I think it's almost 5 times more expensive for this round. So at the lowest tier, they do like a category for people who don't know. There's a category system like Cat 1 all the way to 4, meaning 4 being like the nosebleed seats or like, you know, the less prize spots in a stadium. And for Qatar, for a group match was $11 a ticket.
God damn.
And for the World Cup, for this one, it's averaging over 100 to 150 for the same category, same group matches.
Do we know the group match schedule yet, as far as like who's playing who?
No, we don't have that yet. But that's the crazy part, that once we know who's playing who, those tickets, depending on what games those are going to skyrocket. Because the crazy thing about all this is not only are they starting off expensive, which is the shitty thing, but FIFA has no incentive to stop price gouging because they're getting 15% from the buyer and the seller of said ticket. So they don't lose anything. Like, I mean, they're gaining, they're going to make money hand over fist for this World Cup.
I love how FIFA is just been the most transparently corrupt organization kind of in history. I mean, we just said there's so much paper trail of bribery and just, I mean, it's like Putin's Russia over there, and they just don't even blink. They're like, yeah, whatever. What are you going to do? You're not going to go to the World Cup?
I used to think Sepp Blatter was bad, but Infantino is like a whole another level. And he's like pandering to Trump as well.
I know you guys are on the fence, but I'm going to have to say I like what FIFA's doing, you know?
Yeah, they really, you know, they brought the game to the world stage. And that's
you know what? They're bringing it to, you know, to the people.
It's I mean, if there's anything to be said, is that they are so transparent about how corrupt they are that it's, I mean, goddamn, like,
I feel like was football 20 years ago the same audience as an F1 rally? Because that's what it feels like now. It feels like football is F1, where it's like, people that are showing up are kind of one percenters.
There's
not,
no way,
you know, obviously not like a fucking Newcastle game or whatever, but you know, like,
this is a new thing since the Premier League and other leagues as well started getting foreign money like dumped into their leagues, like, because now it's like a rich man's thing. It's not, I mean, there's still like, and
especially the foreign, the tourist fan.
Well, that
is a rich man's game.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, like, the system that's set in the UK specifically is there's no resale really to be said. There is no, like, you can't buy tickets at like these absorbent prices that they're charging. And there's, I don't know if there's some law or whatever, but like when we go to games and stuff, we can't just go to Ticketmaster to buy a ticket. We got to become members of the club and go through this, you know, whatever. And tickets for an American are pretty reasonable. Like, for us, compared.
It varies. Like, it's crept in at some clubs, like the bigger clubs. Like, you can buy on, like, Viagogo or, like, some equivalent thing. And there's no protection. Like, you could be buying a fake ticket. You don't really know until you turn up.
These two just bought a fake ticket at Spurs.
And mind you, we've gone to games before, so I don't know why the fuck we did that, but we did do that.
Yeah. It is out there, but it's very unregulated, and it's only really at, like, the big London clubs and, like, United, Liverpool, City as well.
Right.
But I mean, Spurs, I'm not even. I walked up to the Villarreal game and got a ticket, like, through the club because you guys couldn't sell your opening game in the Champions League.
That's how you guys saved your match, right? Was that you were able to just buy them?
Yeah, that's the only way we were able to save it, because we had to go get a ticket from the ticket booth or whatever and figure all that out. But we went on opening day, which was a dumber like way to do this because we knew that it was probably gonna be sold out. And we should never do that again. But what I'm saying is like there's things in place. There's guardrails so you don't have to get price gouged. But in the U.S., that doesn't exist for any sport. No. So, like right now, LeBron is probably going to retire. Everyone's waiting for this announcement that he's doing this week or something. That
he did it.
He did it already. Yeah, it was an ad.
It was an ad for Hennessy. Yeah.
God. Okay.
He sullied his entire. Everybody's furious.
It's that and hair growth. Like that's all he's doing.
So, but from that. Just even the idea that he was going to retire, tickets went up. Like just based on that fake thing. Even before that, there was tickets had gone up for for the first couple games of the season already. So
yeah, they were. There was like I saw an image of, like tickets were not below $3,000 for the Knicks game,
right?
Which is insane. I mean, the Knicks are good again, but still, it's a mid-season Knicks-Lakers game is not even a rivalry that we care about.
Like, even as an example right now, Jordy and Busquets announcing that they're retiring. My tickets just went up for Saturday.
Oh, you're talking about Miami FC?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Inter Miami, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so...
The funny thing I've seen is as well, when, like, on the games when, like, Messi's pulled out through injury, like... The other club, the opponents have had to like apologize to their. Remember, like Houston Dynamo putting out like an apology to their fans and giving them free tickets for another game. But it's like this is football. This is what because all these people paid like $400-500 through like even more through like the resellers to see just to see Messi, and then he wasn't there. So it's like they don't want to watch the game now. It's just it's nuts.
It's crazy. Juan, right? Who was your friend that bought tickets? How much were they? And Messi didn't show up?
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine that I always have extra tickets because it's a group of 6 of us. In particular, this time he was just like, no, I don't need them. His family ended up coming from Colombia, so then they magically wanted to go. I told him, I'm like, well, I don't have them. They've already given them away. He paid, I think it was like $250 per ticket, and day of he wasn't there. He was like, he pulled a hamstring or something in practice. And normally the tickets are like $30.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it was brutal. Like it happens all the time here that there's just no safeguards for how expensive things. So the World Cup, I feel, is going to be. It could be what happened at the Club World Cup, where tickets weren't being sold because it was just ridiculous, and people weren't trying to pay $300 to go see Botafogo play, whoever. And so I don't know. I don't know what this World Cup's going to look like with the money that is projected to be for the tickets that are being projected to be that amount, and all the crazy stuff that the administration is doing for
have you guys heard about this
either?
This like I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off, but Trump is like trying to reward like mega cities with World Cup matches. Have you guys seen this?
How can I sign up for this? Like what
he's trying to like move games from like liberal cities to conservative cities.
Yeah.
Like he wants the New York games to be played in like Wichita or something like that. Like he's like, it's so funny. I mean, he seems to just be able to do this kind of shit all the time. So I'm like, I don't know if it's not going to happen. Like FIFA for sure is not going to be the ones that are like, that's against the rules.
I'm worried about Chicago's.
Yeah.
You're worried about what?
Chicago's games might get moved for sure.
Well, it's a war zone there, Juan. I don't know if you've been paying attention. There's about 15 protesters in front of a building in the suburbs.
There's a man in a chicken suit out there.
But he'll just like force them to declare like martial law and send in the National Guard or something. Then go, well, it's not safe to play the games there. It's like
the nice
that's
thing
what I can
is,
see happening.
I think you guys already all know this, but if people don't know this, it's being played in quadrants, at least the group stages. So the Mexico games that is one group stage. The Canada game. It might be East-West. I'm not exactly positive of the breakdown. But I know that it's not like people are going to play like one group match in New York, another group match in San Diego, another group match in Toronto.
Yeah.
So they're going to be all on the East Coast, technically.
Yeah. Or all around like Mexico, LA. Like, I don't even know what the quadrants are. It'd be worth looking up.
Because you could do like Toronto, New York would be quite easy.
It makes sense.
I didn't know that.
Southwest. It makes sense like that, Northeast, Southwest, possibly. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are you guys? I know we want to go to Lee. Like, are you gonna try to plan to go to the World Cup, or do you just gonna stay home and just go to your local?
I mean, I used to live in Toronto. I got some friends I can stay with there for free. So I might have a look and see what games are being played in Toronto and watch them there. I'm not coming to the US for a game. I don't want
you'll get deported.
Yeah, I've got a few JD Vance memes on my phone. That'll get me sent right back. It's
you'll be in big trouble.
Like if I could find an affordable way to do it, I would love to. But it's kind of waiting until the games come out as well, because like you say, if there's a game where it's like, you know, if it's, I don't know, like Uruguay versus Hungary, like the tickets will be $20.
Yeah.
If
you're not going to fly to Toronto to see North Macedonia versus, I don't know, fucking Paraguay or whatever. Yeah.
I would. I've done it with previous tournaments. 2006 in Germany, I watched Sweden versus Paraguay in Berlin just because I wanted to see a World Cup game. Yeah. And I watched Spain versus Ukraine in Leipzig as well, because like me and my friend were like, we want to go to the World Cup, but we don't want to watch England. We don't want to be around England fans because it's just always problems. We want to go and party with some fun foreigners rather than...
I don't know, man. You guys look like you have a blast at World Cups. Just getting completely hammered and fighting.
Go to Marbella. Yeah. Go to Marbella during a Euro summer, and you will change your mind forever.
I went to Euro 2016 in France. I went to watch England versus Russia in Marseille, and that was when all the Russian hooligans turned up with like UFC gear on and like just absolutely beat the crap out of all the England fans. But like me and my brother, we got the train from London to Marseille, and we were wearing like plain clothes. We did not want to look like England fans. We still got tear gassed on that trip by the French police, which was nice.
That's just a day in Marseille. They tear gas the entire city every morning. It's just like
the England fans turned up like 3 days before the game and just started fighting with all the like the locals, because a lot of the locals are like Tunisian and Algerian like heritage, and the England fans just wanted to fight with them. And then it was after the game that the Russians showed up and just beat the shit out of all of them. It's not fun. It's not fun going to an England game away.
Lee and I had, speaking of expensive tickets, we went to Les Classiques at Parc des Princes in Paris, and we saw PSG versus Marseille. Sideline corner tickets, we saw it was Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Hakimi was there. I'm trying to think of who else. Also, Victor Wembanyama was there, just like walking around.
Pre-draft.
Pre-draft, and it was like he was so alarmingly tall. It looked like an alien was just visiting the game.
Because he had like bodyguards with him, and he was like towering over them. And these were like big guys, weren't they?
Yeah. He was sitting in a stool, and he was still taller than the guy standing next to him. But we spent I think a pretty penny. I think around $800 for the tickets, and the entire game, linesman or like guard stood in our field of vision and would not move. Like we couldn't really see the game, and we spent $800. The one thing I'll say though, going back to this whole thing with the pricing and kind of my experience, I went to the Club World Cup final. I got free tickets thanks to Olivia Guzlo. She's a Dazen presenter, and she hooked it up. But something about the way that pricing worked and the kind of like not really like, I mean, it's a new tournament, so it's like it doesn't really have the same stake, but it felt very uneventful. Like it felt weird to go to Meadowlands Stadium to like where the Jets and the Giants play to watch real football. And then on top of that, it just felt very unceremonious. Like we didn't even stay for the like award, you know, like just kind of in and out. And I worry about that if that's what happens with the final or like kind of the later matches. If it is this like American version of football where it's like more about kind of really the price of it all, you know, versus the football.
I don't think that'll happen during the World Cup, because if we're being real honest, nobody cared about the Club World Cup. I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, so what if PSG lost the game or won it, like, because they just won champ? Like, come on, no one really cares.
It was like a big exhibition.
Yeah, the most exciting part was the South American teams doing so well against these bigger clubs. Your Brazils, your Boca Juniors getting eliminated and all that stuff like that.
I mean, I think more than anything, the Club World Cup was just such an apparent cash grab that it just turned a lot of like fans off. And if you happen to be in the area to watch a game and the price is right, you could go. I think that's what kind of it like became. And I don't know if the World Cup is going to be that, because like how many times has the World Cup like tried to, been used in a place to try to whitewash what's going on in the country? Like it's been done time and time again with the World Cup and the Olympics.
Well, luckily they don't need to do that in America, because
we're doing that ourselves.
We don't have anything going on. Everything's perfect and things are normal, and
everything's fine.
Commander-in-Chief is doing a really superb job.
Well, what do you guys think? Before, how much time do we have left, Andy?
I was thinking we'd do another 5. I kind of wanted to do like go around the circle and say what you're going to say, and then I'll present the next.
Well, before we go to that next thing, I think we should do like maybe like a who we think is top maybe 3 contenders for the World Cup.
I do want to say there's World Cup qualifying this weekend, so we're going to get to see some matches. I don't know if there's any standouts in the World Cup qualifying.
Who do we have left that needs to qualify? Let everybody else matter.
I think it's just the minor teams. I think it's like the kind of like the Turkeys, the Ukraines,
I think all of Europe is still not
fully
decided.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think South America's done. Obviously we don't. I think some of the CONCACAF is still.
Well, no, it should just be that bottom table in South America that plays New Zealand. That weird shit. Remember?
Yeah, they do like a playoff, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so Andy, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do the playoffs first, and at the end, kind of like our predictions for who might win the World Cup or who's a strong contender?
Yeah, I mean, we could just kind of go over. I don't really know the status because I'm not seeing how the system breaks down for, I'm sure I could Google it, who's already qualified, but I don't want to spend that much time. I do want to say, like, that's the weird thing is it's such a different scenario going in where it's not like, you don't really go like, oh man, like I think Austria has a really good chance this year because they were just killing it. We don't think of it like in those terms of like how they played in August, like they really have the momentum behind it. It feels like everybody kind of shows up. And you have those moments because these people are not playing all the time together where, you get like a really good team and they don't gel until the 3rd group stage match.
Yeah.
And they just eke their way into the round of 16 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they become, the Argentinas and the Frances and whoever. I will say this. I've never liked the American football team. I don't think we deserve it. I don't think any... American child should ever know victory, and it's because we had Empire. We got Empire. We get Empire. We get Costco. No. Because listen, I know that you guys are. You guys took the train from El Salvador, and you love your new nation, and you guys deserve it. For me. You guys deserve it. You guys do deserve it. But I don't. The average American child who. Is going to be sitting in his home theater watching, like, the match. And also, I don't know if you guys have this in Miami because people might be more versed. Watching football during the World Cup is the most annoying thing in America because everybody comes out of the woodwork and all of a sudden they know so much. They know so much. And they're...
Yeah, but that's just like, that's every day. I have people when we go to the bars on Sunday saying I could throw a ball better than that, like a quarterback. Like, come on.
I think it's uniquely, I don't know. In England, do you kind of have the same thing where people start showing up for the tournaments and being like,
Yeah, like people will be going to the pubs with like their England shirt on who don't normally talk or watch. They don't talk about football the rest of the year. They don't watch football, but they'll get into it for the tournaments, which I'm like, that's all part of it, I guess.
Like, I'm even a hypocrite that I did that for F1 when it came down to Miami. Like, just because I watched it on Netflix, now I know what I'm talking about.
By the way, F1 the movie, great movie. Saw it in theaters. Really, I loved
it. It
really moved me. Idris, what's his name? I can't remember.
Damson.
Yeah, he was brilliant, and so was Brad Pitt. Loved it. I do want to quickly say that I'm rooting for England. I want it to come home. Found watching it in England, I've never had that kind of, because I was in England for the last World Cup. I watched a few matches with Lee.
we did the Crawley Christmas night out, didn't we, with the players?
Yes.
That was
yes,
England Senegal, which I think was like either the first knockout round or the quarterfinals.
They went to the holiday. What's it called? The bazaar thing where they all put on fancy
dress. Yeah, it was a bar in Victoria, wasn't it?
No, it's that was where they ended up. But there's some place that all the footballers go in London that's like holiday themed. It's almost like an Oktoberfest, but in the holidays.
Yeah.
Anyways, when they say fancy dress in England, they do not mean
Winter Wonderland they went to, didn't they?
Winter Wonderland. Yeah, exactly. And when they say fancy dress, they mean like an Oompa Loompa outfit, Austin Powers. So if you ever in England and somebody says we're wearing fancy dress, they are not putting on a tie. They are putting on
costume,
like a bear outfit or a
You
blow
guys
up
are so
dinosaur.
crazy over there.
They love to party. They have, what they do with karaoke and stag do's and casual sex. It's a brilliant nation.
Just a nation of alcoholics and repression.
But I really like that team. I think, just like the youth, the kind of like the Ezes, the Sakas, the Rashfords, I really support them. That's who my vote is for. Lee, are you a patriot?
I think we got a strong chance, but the defense worries me. And also just the mentality. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that shifted under Tuchel, because Southgate, like, for all his flaws, he did a lot of work on making playing for England more enjoyable, and the media kind of didn't pan the players as hard as they've done in the past. And then I went to the England game against Senegal, which was played at Nottingham Forest, and England lost, and the media turned so quickly on Tuchel, and some of the fans did as well. Like the team got booed off, and it was our first loss in like quite a while in outside of tournament football. So it's interesting. Like I said, the defence worries me if there's injuries, because I think like Gay and Stones is a half decent partnership. But outside of that, if there's injuries, we could have real problems there.
Do you think that might turn it? Do you think
I mean, the chances of him actually being healthy for the tournament are.
Is that Luke Shaw?
That's Andy Haynes. Comedian Andy Haynes. And
Man, what a bum.
And also, I don't know what Adam Wharton has to do to get in an England squad, because that guy is probably my favourite player in the league right now to watch, and he's running games for Palace in the midfield, and he can't get a look in.
Yeah, that's
they're still calling up like sort of legs gone Jordan Henderson for his leadership qualities. It's like hire him as a coach, then don't like have him in the squad.
Yeah.
I'm pleased that Elliot Anderson is in the midfield now, though, because he's a really good player. But yeah, I mean, Wharton needs to be in there. He's balling out right now, and it's upsetting me that he's not in the England team. But I think we got a good chance. I would put us in the maybe pile, but I wouldn't put us in like the top favourites, because I still think pound for pound and also mentality wise, the likes of France, the likes of Spain will have more than us.
Yeah.
We're in that I would put us in that next tier down.
Do you know what I think is a crazy thing to say? And I feel like I don't think Brazil is even a maybe anymore.
No. Yeah.
They've been so bad the last.
Yeah. They won't make it out of that group. Whatever group they're in, they're going to be like, I want to play Brazil.
Yeah, and I think they deserve it because they all support Bolsonaro, and that's. I'm sorry to bring politics into it, but just like we don't deserve it, they don't deserve it.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about, so
that's right. Brazil has a Trump too. What is your guys' predictions? Who are you rooting for, and who do you think is?
I'm not rooting for them, but I'm gonna have to go with Spain for depth. Right? I'm a firm believer that World Cup winning is depth. So they can make a whole nother squad from their bench and be fantastic. So if they all stay healthy, I think they're kind of favorites. France is there too. They have a lot of depth. I just think they're weak. So that's just my personal opinion for them.
As a country.
As a country, yeah. It has nothing to do with
their mentally.
Yeah.
I feel the same as well. I feel like Spain's probably got the youth, they got the energy. But there is something to be said about having the maturity. France is, I think, they're a little bit older now. They can handle these big games, these big tournaments. And then I'm going to just throw in Argentina because they are the champions. They are the world champions. And nobody thought they were going to get far last World Cup either. And they won it. So I feel like it'd be not a good thing to not include them in this conversation because I think that they could surprise us.
Those dusty legs are not going to fucking work.
For who? What dusty legs? For who?
It's like Andy said.
They're
It's like
still
Andy
bringing
said earlier.
Acuna. They're still bringing like Martinez, like Tagliafico,
We don't know yet. We don't know who they're bringing
Otamendi.
yet.
Like, come on, man, get real.
They out of the Common Bowl, aren't they at the top? They're at the top. It's one of the hardest fucking places to play.
Was not anymore.
What
Also,
do you
I think
mean?
it's like Andy said about like peaking at the right time as well. Because you look at the last World Cup, like, they lost to Saudi Arabia and then still won the tournament. So it's like they've got, for me, like I don't know if you use this term in the US at all, but they've got a team of shithouses, and those players, when it gets to the crunch games, will do all of the nasty stuff that they need to do to close out a game, and then there'll be some brilliance from Messi or someone who will win it for them. Like even like I went to a game. I was in France last weekend. I went to watch Lille versus Lyon. And Tagliafico was playing left back for Lyon. Lyon were 1-0 up, and the last 20 minutes of that game was a masterclass in how to be a shithouse. Like he was diving anytime anyone came near him. He was wasting time. He was doing all the nasty stuff, and that's the whole Argentina team. They will do that. Like, it won't be pretty if they do go deep into the tournament, but they will do all of the horrible stuff. And like teams like England don't have that about them mentality wise.
Sure. Yeah.
So, do you guys see any? Do you see any dark horses?
I was just gonna ask. I got Netherlands as my dark horse.
Netherlands.
I know this might be naive, but I think for some reason Sweden with Isak and Gyökeres, or one of those Scandinavian teams being able to put it together, might show up. I know that they haven't qualified yet, so it's like you have Norway, you have Denmark. Denmark historically having the best record out of all of them is like, I think they've qualified for the last 5 World Cups, maybe.
I have a big grudge against Sweden. I am not backing Sweden at all, because they lost a game recently with all their big players playing. They lost 2-0 to Kosovo in the qualifiers, and it cost me a lot of money because I thought they were going to win that game. They should have won that game comfortably. And it cost me a lot of money. But yeah, Gyökeres and Elanga started as the 2 forwards in that game, and Isak came off the bench, I think, at half time.
Cut to all of the Swedish players' girlfriends in a warehouse somewhere in Stockholm with a guy named Dragon with a gun to their head. How could Kosovo win this? That was dark. I do need to get out of here because I've neglected my daughter for 40 minutes. What was your guys' moment of football this week? What was your moment that stood out?
I'm gonna go. Surprisingly, we went to the Inter game on Saturday, and they told no one that it was a surprise tribute to Sergio Busquets. So, as the club is ran like shit, I'm glad I didn't sell my tickets and decided not to go for whatever game.
Great.
One of the greatest CDMs of all time.
Yeah, seeing him off was pretty nice.
Some more respect by announcing it. God damn it.
And Lee, did you go to some horribly rainy, sad place to watch Southampton?
I didn't, because it was... oh, no, we did play. We lost to Derby. No, we drew with Derby, sorry. But I went to... midweek, I was in Germany. I went to Dortmund versus Bilbao in the Champions League, the 4-1 game.
Oh.
That was pretty cool to witness.
See what we could do if we lived in Europe, you guys? See what we could do?
I was at Lille Lyon on the Sunday, and then I went to some lower Belgian and Dutch games in the days between. Then I went to Dortmund on the Wednesday.
I love your love for football, because I will check in on Lee's stories, and he'll be just at Genk versus Bruges, and I'll be like, all right, cool. Why are you there? But then I realize it's a 45-minute flight.
No, I take my car on the ferry and I drive.
That's so terrifying to drive on our side of the road on your side of the car.
It's absolutely fine. But also, one highlight for me outside of stuff I was at, for me, the highlight of the weekend, football-wise, was Walter Marder's penalty for Newcastle. Like, for me, that's one of the best penalties I've ever seen. I loved it. I love watching that. I've watched it so many times.
I need to go back and watch it. I did not get to see any football this weekend because my entire extended family, including my miserable mother, was here to celebrate my daughter's birthday. So I was not tuning into the matches, unfortunately. Rudy, Juan, moments?
Yeah, seeing Sergio Busquets off.
Get your own, dude. Jesus Christ.
No, I want to agree. I want to agree with you.
Mine was, this is going to sound lame, but it's probably Declan Rice goal, even though it wasn't eventful. It was nice to see him get on the board. I got really excited for Grealish scoring, because I think Grealish, I really like to see.
You turned that
scored
around.
With a tackle.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah. But Grealish's arc of being kind of buried in the Manchester City system, and he's not like one of my favorite players or anything, but I think I like him. To see him thriving at Everton is, I don't know.
I like Grealish.
It's like an underdog story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Grealish. He gives me Cole Palmer energy. Just a regular ass dude that just happens to be really talented.
The story is, I don't know if you know this, Lee. The story is that Grealish in the offseason is just a pharmacy. He is just filled with drugs, and then about a week out before games start again, he does like a blood transfusion and a sauna. And
every summer you see pictures of him enjoying a drink. He's out off his face.
I mean, I think if we looked like Jack Grealish, we would all do that too. I think we would all, he's in Ibiza drowning.
If I was getting 80,000 pounds a week, I do this.
Yeah, I make less than that, and I'm embellishing. Okay, well, this has been Absolute Worldie. You guys, please go ahead and follow everybody. Lee, where can people find you on the internet?
Lee Hudson Comedy on Instagram and the Bird app. I'm on there as well, but I don't really post anything. Instagram's the one to get me at.
Go see Lee around the British Isles or in a second-tier Slovenian football match in the stands. Juan and Rudy can be found at Hermanos FC. I think it's on TikTok and...
We're on your TikToks, we're on your YouTubes.
And no gram?
No, we don't have a gram.
Okay, well, whatever. Just kidding. I'm Andy Haynes. This has been Absolute Worldie. Please follow me at I'm Andy Haynes across the board. I think it's just Andy Haynes on YouTube where this lives. Or no, this lives at Absolute Worldie. Although, let's do a collab, because now you can collab on YouTube. But thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with more exciting football, even though it's the international break. Have a good week, everyone.
Later, guys.
All right, bye, guys.